the hadith in Sahih Muslim, and I pulled it up here because I think it's quite a powerful hadith, where the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, he says, "Yu'ta bi an'ami ahli dunya min ahli nar yawm al-qiyamah," that a person who had the most amount of blessings in this world, right? So he says, bi an'ami ahli dunya min ahli nar, but they're from the disbelievers, the kuffar, right? So they'll be brought on the day of judgment. فَيُسْبَغُ فِي النَّارِ سَبْغَةً. So they'll be dipped into the hellfire. And so ثُمَّ يُقَالُ, then it will be said, يَا ابْنَ آدَمْ هَلْ رَأَيْتَ خَيْرًا قَطُّ. That did you ever experience any good? So all of this, 70, 80 years of, luxury that you experienced, this power that you experienced, fighting for these small little things that you think are so important to you, that he'll be asked, هَلْ رَأَيْتَ خَيْرًا قَطُّ. After being dipped in the hellfire, did you experience any good? هَلْ مَرَّ بِكَ نَعِيمٌ قَطُّ. Did any blessing ever pass you? فَيَقُولُ, so he will say, لَا وَاللَّهِ يَا رَبِّ. No, by Allah, my Lord, that I never experienced anything. And then the opposite side, we find that he says, وَيُؤْتَى بِأَشَدِّ النَّاسِ بُؤْسًا فِي الدُّنْيَا مِنْ أَهْلِ الْجَنَّةِ. That the person who's gone through the most extreme form of hardship will be brought. This is talking about أَشَدِّ النَّاسِ. So people that are struggling, suffering, etc., that's there. But we're saying the ashaddun nas, we're talking about the Allah
Ta'ala experience any form of happiness, anything.
Right. So we hope that even some people that are going through difficulties now, there'll be some moments of happiness. But imagine the person that hasn't experienced any happiness, right? So he said ashaddun nasi bu'san fi dunya min ahli jannah, but the people of paradise, they're believers. So they'll be brought forward. فَيُسْبَغُ سَبَغَةً فِي الْجَنَّةِ, and they'll be dipped into Jannah. وَيُقَالُ لَهُ, and we said to them, يَا ابْنَ آدَمْ هَلْ رَأَيْتَ بُؤْسًا قَطُّ. Did you experience ever any difficulty, any sadness? هَلْ مَرَّ بِكَ شِدَّةٌ قَطُّ. Did any difficulty ever pass you? فَيَقُولُ, say, لَا وَاللَّهِ يَا رَبِّ مَا مَرَّ بِي بُؤْسٌ قَطُّ وَلَا رَأَيْتُ شِدَّةً قَطُّ. That I never experienced any hardship, any difficulty in my life. So when we put that in perspective, that we know that there's always going to be an ultimate form of justice, it does kind of give you one even if we don't experience that in our life, right? Because that's one of the things that we say, we want to see the success, we want to see the victory, and that's fine. But even if we don't see it in our lifetime, we know there's ultimate justice in the end. And so that kind of gives you some, so when you see people so powerful, smiling, smirking, and a clear lying and distortion, and you're left as a sense of helplessness, you're like, well, I can't do anything about it, right? Like even what we're doing here, right? This is not, this is, for anything, I think it's more for myself. It makes us feel like we've done something. Whether people listen or not, that's up to them. But it just kind of makes me feel a bit more comfortable. Maybe thinking, you know what? At least I tried something. I was reading. So one of my friends has translated Mustafa Sabri's book "Qawli fil Mar'a," which is a book about women and feminism, etc. So in the introduction, he talks about the biography. This is Mawlana Muzammil Hussain and his, I forget the other brother's name. And so in the introduction, they mention a quotation of Mustafa Sabri. Because Mustafa Sabri was writing to Ataturk after the collapse of the Ottoman Empire. And so when he writes it, he goes, I am not under any delusion that they're going to listen to me. Right? I'm not under any delusion they're going to listen to me. But this is for me, my form of iqamatul hujjah. That I'm establishing my evidence. So then when I am raised on the day of judgment, I can say, Ya Allah, I did say something. Right? I couldn't do anything, we could probably do much more, right? But I'm saying at least I have something to offer, saying, I couldn't do much. There was this little thing I did say, and hopefully that could, give us some sort of leg to stand on to say, at least we did something. So he was saying that this is not, I don't think they're going to listen, right? I don't think there's going to be some mass change, but at least I can say that I did say something.
Whatever was in my capacity, I did.
Even then, I don't think we're doing in our capacity, but we did something. That's a better way to say it. I don't think I'm arrogant enough to say such a thing. But anyway, that was just a couple of thoughts about. So we shouldn't lose hope in the idea that we know that things change rapidly. We don't need to lose hope in that. And even if someone does feel that there's not much, I can't see any way out, there's ayat in the Quran that speak specifically about these situations. And the whole of the Meccan period of the Messenger of Allah ﷺ is this, is this great trial, tribulation. You can't see any way out. How on earth am I going to do anything? I've got 80 followers. Right? I'm supposed to come as a messenger for the whole world, right? And my own qawm, I can barely get them. So then the Messenger of Allah is worried about this, and the Quran consoles the Messenger of Allah constantly, and there's eventual success. So that eventual success will come. Whether we see it or not is another question. But the eventual success will be here. But even if we don't, we can look forward to this day that we can look and say, at least ultimate justice will take place. So those who have these, they present themselves as being powerful and untouchable, invincible, they're going to die inevitably. They're going to have to stand before Allah inevitably. And all the greatness they saw for the 60, 70 years that you did, you have an eternity of punishment and pain you have to experience.